Welcome students. In the previous class, we discussed about the concept of linear dependence and independence. Now, in today's session, I want to discuss about the problems based on linear independence and the properties of linear independence and results based on this concept, linear dependence as well as linear independence. First of all, we already discussed that whenever you are solving based on either linear dependence or independence, the very basic approach what we follow is whenever a set of vectors are given to you, say alpha 1, alpha 2, so on alpha n, and we want to verify whether it is linearly dependent or independent. So, we follow the approach of the definition. So, what it is? We will write the linear combination a1 alpha 1 plus so on plus an alpha n equal to 0. Then we will get a set of linear equations in the scalars a1, a2, so on an. Now, we solve them. If we are able to find the values of the scalars such that all scalars are 0, if all scalars are 0, then we say that it is linearly independent. In a short form, we write Li. If we are able to determine the values of a1, a2, so on an such that they are non-zero numbers, so we are able to determine the values of a1, a2, so on an. Some values may be 0 and majority of them are non-zero. Then we say that the given set of vectors are linearly dependent. However, apart from the definition approach, we have another interesting thing is whenever you have the 3-dimensional vectors or 2-dimensional vectors, especially, we will calculate the determinant for them. If determinant is not equal to 0, we say that they are linearly independent. If determinant is equal to 0, then we say that they are linearly dependent. The problem here is, suppose I have taken 4 vectors alpha, beta, gamma and delta. All are 3D vectors. So, alpha is a 3D vector, beta is a 3D vector, gamma is a 3D vector and delta is a 3D vector. Now, if we want to verify whether you consider all the 4 vectors in a single set, say alpha, beta, gamma and delta, is it linearly independent or dependent? Then what happens? Application of this approach is not possible, because whenever 3 vectors are there, then you will get a 3 by 3 matrix here, because each one is a 3-dimensional vector and you are able to calculate the determinant of the matrix. If 4 vectors are there, so you will get a 4 by 3 matrix. How do we calculate its determinant? There is no specific method to calculate determinant of a rectangular matrix. In fact, for the rectangular matrix, we do not calculate the determinant as well. So, this approach is not useful. So, the traditional approach is always we consider the linear combination, we make that it is equal to 0, then we determine the values of the scalars. And for the determination also, we have discussed about 2 methods. One, eliminating the parameters one after the other when you have the system of equations, and secondly, you will have the homogeneous system Ax equal to 0. We apply the row operations and we verify whether scalars will exist or not, and for that we have discussed the formulae also. Now, let us come back to the current session and we discuss how to solve based on linear independence for a particular problem, right. So, this is my first problem. Let me take it. Suppose I have taken the set of vectors as 1, 2, 0, 0, 3, 1 and -1, 0, 1. in the vector space V3 of Q. Now I want to verify whether it is linearly independent or dependent. So I want to make use of the two approaches here. First of all, let me take the matrix. So the first row is 1 2 0, second row is 0 3 1, third row is minus 1 0 1. We consider the determinant for the given three vectors. Please understand here each vector is a 3D vector and they are 3 in number. So calculation of determinant is possible, right? So let us evaluate this. So this is nothing but 1 into, so this is 3 minus 0 minus 2 into, closing here, 0 plus 1 plus 0 into anything is 0. So you have 3 minus 2, hence the value is 1, which is not equal to 0. Therefore, we confirm that the given set of vectors are linearly independent. So this is the solution of the problem. We apply this technique whenever it is a short answer question given for 5 marks or something else, or a part of a question. But coming for essay question, we need not follow this approach. We have to go with the traditional approach, the definition approach. So let us discuss on this now. So if you observe that the vector space is given by V3 of Q, here Q is nothing but the set of rational numbers which is the field here. So while writing the linear combination, we should take the rational numbers and the scalars in the rational number system. So let us give the names as the first vector is alpha, second vector is beta and third vector is gamma. Take the scalars A, B, C belongs to Q such that A alpha plus B beta plus C gamma is equal to 0 vector. Now substitute in the values here, this is A into 1 2 0 plus B into 0 3 1 plus C into minus 1 0 1 equal to 0 0 0. So here 0 bar stands for the 0 vector which is having 3 coordinates there. Now considering this is A minus C and here 2A plus 3B and here B plus C equal to 0 0 0. Equating the values here, you have A minus C equal to 0, 2A plus 3B equal to 0 and B plus C equal to 0. Now how do we solve this? We will write the respective matrix system for these equations. The homogeneous system Ax equal to 0 that we take here. So from the first equation you have A coefficient is 1, B is not there, so we take 0, C coefficient is minus 1. So here you have 2 3 0 and here you have 0 1 1 of ABC which is equal to 0 0 0. Now what we do while applying the row operations, I consider only the coefficient matrix, right? So let us apply the row operations and convert this into echelon form. So what is the procedure? I will take the first row first element and all the values below this must be 0. Then I take second row second element, the second diagonal element of the matrix, then all the row values below this must be 0, right? So I apply that R2 tends to R2 minus 2R1. Since 0 is presented here, there is no need to apply row operation for the third row. So I apply only second operation here for the second row. So this is equivalent to on the coefficient matrix 1 0 minus 1, right? So this is 0, this is 3 and this is plus 2 and here you have 0 1 1 presented there. Now I have to make this value as 0, so I will apply the row operation as, I will make space here, R3 tends to 3R3 minus R2, then this will be equivalent to 1 0 minus 1. So second row will be as it is, there is no change in it. So 0, 3, 2. So here it is 0, 0. So here 3 R3 means this is 3, 3 minus 2, this is 1. So this is the final matrix we have. Now what happens? After doing the row operations, we consider the rank of the matrix. So what is the rank of the matrix here? It is nothing but 3, because the last row is not totally 0. So first row is presented here, second row is there, and third row is there. So the rank of the matrix is nothing but number of non-zero rows. So it is 3 here. Therefore, we have a formula already. Whenever you calculate the rank of the matrix, then we compare with the number of variables here. So how many number of variables are there? 3 variables, A, B, C. So this is equal to number of variables. As per the previous session, we discussed that whenever rank is equal to the number of variables, then that system will have only 0 solution, or we call it as trivial solution. Therefore, immediately we confirm that A is equal to 0, B is equal to 0, and C is equal to 0, because the system of equations has trivial solution. This we need to mention in the exam. So here we will write that since rank of A is equal to 3, which is equal to the number of variables, given homogeneous system has only 0 solution. Hence we conclude that A is equal to 0, B is equal to 0, and C is equal to 0. Now let us observe. Initially I have written the linear combination. A alpha plus B beta plus C gamma is equal to 0 bar. Now what happened? I have calculated the values of A, B, C. So all the 3 scalars, that is A, B and C, become 0 totally here. Therefore, we confirm that the given set of vectors are linearly independent. So this is the solution of the problem. So in this problem, I have discussed the 2 approaches. Approach 1, calculation of determinant and verifying whether it is independent or dependent. Second approach, the formal definition method. For every problem, we apply the same technique, right? So please take a note of this, then I continue further. Welcome back. So after discussing with this, I want to mention one remark that whenever we talk of linear independence or dependence, field is most important. So let me say I have taken a set of vectors in a vector space. Now I want to verify whether it is linearly independent or dependent. Especially, let me take, I have taken only 2 vectors in a set. Then what happens? From the previous classes, we observed that if one vector can be written as a multiple of the other vector, then we say that the given set of vectors are linearly dependent. It means especially I have taken 2 vectors. Let us take alpha is equal to 1, 2, and let us take beta is equal to 3, 6. So let us draw the picture for this. I have taken this example already in the previous class. Let us recollect this one more time. So here if you give the numberings, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here also you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like this. So 1, 2 alpha means this is 1 and this is 2, this is my alpha. And beta is nothing but 3, 6, so this is 3 and this is 6. So if you consider this is the extension of the vector. So this is alpha and this is beta. So alpha and beta lie on the same line. In fact, if you stretch alpha, it is nothing but beta. So what happens? I can write beta is equal to 3 alpha. So whenever I take the set alpha comma beta, a 2 vector set, I have represented one vector as a multiple of the other vector, right? Therefore, whenever this is possible, or you can say alpha is equal to some number into beta. You can take either the situation. So our interest is to represent one vector as a multiple of the other vector. Then immediately we conclude that the set is linearly dependent. Here the important one is the scalar what you have obtained must belong to the field. This is most important. So depending upon the field only, we confirm that whether it is linearly dependent or linearly independent. The very simple example we can take is, suppose I have taken a set S with two vectors. Say first vector is 1, second vector is I. So please understand that I have taken one dimensional vectors. So one dimensional vectors means it has only one coordinate. So 1 is a vector and I is a vector. So here I confirm that this set is linearly dependent. Why? Because I can write the vector 1 as minus I into I. You can observe that one vector is equal to some number into other vector. This is possible here. So if you take this is alpha, alpha is equal to some number into beta is attained here. So immediately we confirm that this is linearly dependent. Now the question comes that linearly dependent on what vector space? That is most important. So generally you have taken the one dimensional vectors here. So we take that V is the vector space and we should have a field here. So if I take S is equal to 1 comma I, which is a set in the vector space V of F, then based on the field we say that it is linearly dependent or independent. Here the scalar is minus I. Now minus I is a complex number. So complex number system, if you take the field F as the complex number system, then this set is linearly dependent on V of C. So if you take any other field in place of F, for example, I can take F is equal to the real number system R, or I can take F is equal to the rational number system Q. You can take any one here. Then in these fields the set is linearly independent only, because here the linear combination is not possible. The linear combination is not possible. You can ask that a linear combination is existed there. Yes, it is true. I have written 1 is equal to minus I into I. So this is true always. Now the question is, minus I, the scalar, will belong to the field complex numbers only. So if you take the hierarchy of the fields, rational number system is a field, real number system is a field, complex number system is a field. As I mentioned earlier, whenever you write one vector is equal to some number into other vector, then it is linearly dependent. So this number on which field it will belong, based on this only we say that it is linearly dependent on that, otherwise it is linearly independent. So here the scalar minus I does not belongs to Q and does not belongs to R. Hence we confirm that this belongs to the field C, hence the set is linearly dependent on V of C, and it is linearly independent on V of R and also V of Q. So from this problem what we understood, whenever you take a two vector set, then we should be able to write one vector as a multiple of the other vector. That is the first thing. And second, we observe what is the scalar there. So depending upon the scalar, whether that scalar belongs to a particular field or not, then based on that field we confirm that the set is linearly dependent or independent. So this is the important thing that you need to remember, right? Then I will continue further by taking the next problem. So this is my next problem. Now I have taken 4 vectors, alpha equal to 1 0 0, beta equal to 0 1 0, and gamma equal to 0 0 1, and delta is equal to 1 1 1. So my intention is, if I take the 4 vectors, these 4 vectors are linearly dependent on the vector space V3 of C, and if you take any 3 of them, then they are linearly independent. Again, please read the question, right? I have taken 4 vectors, alpha, beta, gamma, and delta. So if I take all the 4 vectors in a single set, then I have to show that they are linearly dependent. If I take any 3 vectors, then I need to show them they are linearly independent. So let us go with the first one. So if I consider all the 4 vectors at a time, then I have to show that it is linearly dependent. So let us go with this. So you take the scalars A, B, C, D belong to the field C such that I can write the linear combination as 0. So A alpha plus B beta plus C gamma plus D delta is equal to 0 bar. Now I will substitute the values here. So this is A into 1 0 0 plus B into 0 1 0 plus C into 0 0 1 plus D into 1 1 1 equal to 0 0 0. Now if you add all these values, then it is adding all the first coordinates, it is A plus D, adding all the second coordinates, it is B plus D, and third coordinates, it is C plus D, equals to 0 0 0. Then equating the respective coordinates, you have A plus D equal to 0, B plus D equal to 0, and C plus D equal to 0. So from this we conclude that A, B, C, all the 3 values are equal to minus D. So what does it mean? The values of A, B, C totally dependent on the number D. For example, if I take D is equal to 1, then what happens? The values of A, B, C are A is equal to minus 1, B is equal to minus 1, and C is equal to minus 1. So I have found the non-zero values for A, B, C, D such that on substituting here, I will get the output as 0 0 0. Again I repeat, I have found the values of A, B, C, D which are non-zero numbers such that if I substitute in the linear combination, you will get the output as 0. Hence, I conclude that the given 4 vectors, if you take together, then they are nothing but the linearly dependent set from the definition. Now let us go with the second part of the problem. So if I take any 3 of them, then I need to show that they are linearly independent. Now the question comes that what is the meaning of taking any 3 of them? So among the 4 vectors, I can pick up any 3. So whatever the 3 vectors I will choose, it is by default linearly independent. Now let us go with this part. So what are the possible choices here? I can take alpha, beta, gamma as one choice. I can take alpha, beta, delta as one choice. I can take alpha, gamma, delta as one choice, and I can take beta, gamma, delta as one choice. So total 4 possibilities are there for selecting any 3 vectors from the total 4 vectors. So here what we need to show? We have to show that each set is linearly independent. So first is linearly independent, second, third and fourth. Each one is linearly independent that we need to show. So for this, we will consider one set and we prove that it is linearly independent, and we write that similarly we can prove the remaining sets are also linearly independent. So we prove for one and similarly other results will hold automatically. So let me take the example of say alpha, beta, delta. You can take any one, I have chosen that one. So let us write the linear combination for this. So A into alpha plus B into beta plus C into delta is equal to 0 bar, say, where the scalars A, B, C belong to the field C. Now let us substitute the values here, implies A into 1, 0, 0 plus B into 0, 1, 0 plus C into 1, 1, 1 equals to 0, 0, 0. Let us equate the values there. So you have A 0, 0 plus 0, B 0 plus C, C, C equal to 0, 0, 0. Adding all the first coordinates here, you have A plus C. Adding all the second coordinates, you have B plus C. And adding all third coordinates, you have C equal to 0, 0, 0. So equating the respective coordinates here, we got that A plus C equal to 0, B plus C equal to 0 and C equal to 0. Since C is 0 here, then by default B is 0 and A is 0. So we got the result that A equal to 0, B equal to 0 and C equal to 0. Therefore, the set alpha, beta, delta is linearly independent. Similarly, we can prove that the remaining three sets are also linearly independent. In exam point of view, we prove for one set. For the remaining sets, we write that similarly the other sets are also linearly independent, doing in the same way. So there is no need to prove for the remaining three sets. We choose only one set and we prove that it is linearly independent, right? So please take a note of this. Now let me take the other problem. So there is one interesting property that so if you take the linearly independent vectors, then generally what happens, if you add them, then the resultant vectors are also linearly independent. So what I am going to say, then alpha plus beta, beta plus gamma and gamma plus alpha are also linearly independent. So this is one property for the linearly independent vectors. I repeat again, I have three vectors with me, alpha, beta, gamma, and I know them, they are linearly independent. Now what I am going to prove, if I add the vectors, I will get three new different vectors. One is alpha plus beta, obtained from adding alpha and beta. Another one is beta plus gamma, which is obtained from adding beta and gamma, and similarly gamma plus alpha. Since these are linearly independent, then these vectors are also linearly independent that we need to show. Okay. So we go with the definition approach. So take the scalars first of all. You take that ABC belongs to F such that A into alpha plus beta plus B into beta plus gamma plus C into gamma plus alpha equal to 0 bar. Now let us add the values. So our intention is to show that the scalars taken by me, that is A, B, C, must be 0. If I proved that, then as per the formal definition, these vectors are also linearly independent. I have shown this by default. So let us simplify this expression. So you have multiplying the values A alpha plus A beta plus B beta plus B gamma plus C gamma plus C alpha equal to 0 bar. Now what I will write? I will take the values of alpha, beta, gamma as common here. So here, if you take the coefficient of alpha, it is A plus C into alpha. If you take the coefficient of beta, it is A plus B into beta. And for the coefficient of gamma, it is B plus C into gamma. Now observe that this is of the form some number into alpha plus some number into beta plus some number into gamma equal to 0. So it is nothing but a linear combination of alpha, beta, gamma which is equal to 0. Therefore, I confirm that A plus C is equal to 0, A plus B equal to 0 and B plus C equal to 0 because alpha, beta, gamma are linearly independent. So in the problem itself, he has given that alpha, beta, gamma are linearly independent. Hence, from the definition of linear independence, we confirm that whenever linear combination of alpha, beta, gamma is 0, then all the scalars in this combination must be equal to 0. So we confirm that these values are 0. So using this, I prove that ABC values will become 0. So how I can do? So from this you can say, from the first equation, A plus C is equal to 0, and from third equation you have B is equal to minus C, or minus B is equal to C. Now I substitute the values here, therefore I got that A minus B is equal to 0. Now taking the second equation here, you have A plus B is equal to 0. Adding them, B gets cancelled. So you have 2A equal to 0, implies you can say A is equal to 0, right. Now since A is 0, from this expression B is 0, and hence we conclude that C is 0 because minus B is equal to C. Therefore we confirm that A is equal to, B is equal to, C is equal to 0. Therefore they are linearly independent vectors. So what are linearly independent? Alpha plus beta, beta plus gamma and gamma plus alpha are linearly independent. We have the second approach for this problem also, right? Let us discuss on this. The second approach here is, after writing these equations, we will consider them in the matrix form. So here A coefficient is 1, B is not there, so it is 0, C is 1. From the second equation you have 1, 1, 0 are the coefficients. From third equation you have 0, 1, 1 are the coefficients of ABC equals to 0, 0, 0. Now let us apply the row operations here. So we take that R2 tends to R2 minus R1. So here I will consider the coefficient matrix only. So this is equivalent to 2. So first row is as it is 1, 0, 1. Second row, while subtracting, it is 0. This is 1. This is minus 1. And from third row you take the values as it is. Now I have to make this number 0. So I will apply that R3 tends to R3 minus R2. So this is equivalent to 1, 0, 1, 0, 1 minus 1. So 0 minus 0, 0, 1 minus 1, 0, 1 minus of minus 1, 2. So you cannot reduce this further. This is the maximum you have done and it is in the echelon form. Therefore, rank of the matrix say A is equal to 3, which is equal to number of variables. Therefore, we confirm that the system has only 0 solution from the properties of system of linear equations. So we say that A is equal to 0, B is equal to 0 and C is equal to 0. Hence we confirm that alpha plus beta, beta plus gamma and gamma plus alpha are linearly independent. This is the conclusion of the problem, so please take a note of that. Right. Now I just want to give some practice problems to you. You try to solve them and come up with your ideas. So I have taken the following set of vectors: 1 minus 2 1, 2 1 minus 1, 7 minus 4 1. This is the first problem, and second set is given by 2 0 5, 3 minus 5 8, then 4 minus 2 1 and 0 0 1. And the third one is given by minus 1 2 1, 3 0 minus 1 and minus 5 4 3. Now I request you to solve these problems using the two techniques, that is, you can do the determinant method and you can apply the linear combination method. However, these two techniques are applicable for problem number 1 as well as problem number 3. For problem number 2, you have only one approach available, that is nothing but linear combination method, because it contains 4 vectors, all are 3D vectors. So we need to do only one approach for the second problem, whereas for the first and third problems, you can do the two approaches, the linear combination approach as well as the determinant approach. Okay? You take a note of these problems. Then I continue further. Right. Now, let us take V is the vector space of 2 by 2 matrices over the real number system R, and I took the vectors as A is equal to 2 1 minus 1, 3 minus 2 4, B is equal to 1 1 minus 3 minus 2 0 5, and C is equal to 4 minus 1 2, 1 minus 2 minus 3. And I want to show that these are linearly independent. Now there is an interesting thing here. So far we have done the vectors as either 2D or 3D points. Here I have taken the vectors as matrices. Now I want to show that the 3 matrices in the vector space which contains all 2 by 3 model matrices are linearly independent. That I want to show. Again I go with the traditional approach. You take the scalars, say ABC belongs to the field R, and you write the linear combination for them. So A into A plus B into B plus C into C is equal to 0 bar. Now substitute the values here. So generally while writing the linear combination, on the right hand side we take the 0 vector. Since the vector space is 2 by 3 matrices type, the 0 vector is nothing but a 2 by 3 matrix. Okay. Now the corresponding values, if you write, we take all the first values here. So 2A plus B plus 4C. All second values A plus B minus C. All third values minus A minus 3B plus 2C. And in the second row you have 3A minus 2B plus C minus 2A minus 2c, then you have 4a plus 5b minus 3c equals to, you take the 0 matrix here. So what does it mean? We need to select the values of a, b, c in such a way that the values of a, b, c must satisfy all the 6 equations. Right? So I need to select the scalars a, b, c in the linear combination in such a way that all the 6 equations will be satisfied by the values selected by me for a, b, c. So we take randomly any 3 equations among the 6, right? So let us take that 2a plus b plus 4c equal to 0 and a plus b minus c equal to 0, and you can take any equation. So 4a plus 5b minus 3c equal to 0. Now you can write the homogeneous system, the format x equal to 0, and you apply the row operations. As discussed earlier, you can do the row operations and calculate the rank of the matrix. What you will get is the rank of the matrix is 3, which is equal to number of variables. Hence, we conclude that the given 3 matrices A, B, C are linearly independent in the vector space of having all 2 by 3 matrices over R. There is one more approach that if you are interested particularly, you take all the 6 equations together. So in the matrix, you take all the 6 equations together. So you have 2, 1, 4 here, 1, 1, minus 1, minus 1, minus 3, 2, 3, minus 2, 1, minus 2, 0, minus 2, 4, 5, minus 3. You write that this is ABC. Equal to, you write that this is 0, 0, 0. Now you take only coefficient matrix, apply the row operations on it, then find its rank. So first of all, you need to do all the values before the first entry must be 0, applying row operations. Then all the values below the second diagonal element must be equal to 0. So as and when you do, you will get that the rank of the matrix is 3, which is equal to the number of variables. Hence we conclude that the system has only 0 solution. Therefore we say, when you substitute the scalars small a, small b, small c as 0, 0, 0, then only you will get the output linear combination as 0, otherwise you will get some matrix. Hence we conclude that the given 3 matrices are linearly independent in this system, right? Thank you very much. I hope you can solve this method and you understood the concept of linear independence as well. So that is for today's session. Thank you very much. Right.